All right, so once you're ready, find that comfortable seat, whether that means cross-legged, legs extended, sitting on your heels or a block, whatever feels good for you. Find that seat and we will get started there. Hands can rest down on the knees or the lap, palms face up if that feels more natural to you. And only once you feel ready, we'll gently draw the eyes closed. And we'll take a couple of moments to just let ourselves arrive on our mats and our bodies today. Take a moment and imagine or visualize, almost like on a fast forward, everything that you've done this week. Going through all the motions, eventually allow it all to draw to a close and imagine almost cutting a cord or just letting it all float away from you. All that's in the past, now it's done. Let it go. And doing the same with anything that's left to do today or for the upcoming week. Anything that's on your mind on that to-do list, imagine it just washing away. Let it go. And take a couple moments to just grant yourself permission to be here now. You made it, you arrived. For the next half hour, there is nothing that you have to do but to just be here and now. Bring your awareness to the base of your body. Maybe you rock forward or back or even side to side. Feel the ground beneath your body. Eventually slow down the rocks and find just that comfortable, grounded, even and balanced seat. Almost imagine roots coming out from the base of your body. So anything that's in contact with the ground, imagine these roots just growing beneath you, keeping you grounded and secure. And just take note in your mind's eye what these roots look like. Is it just one tiny root, or do you have a whole colony of roots growing out from beneath you? Imagine it keeping you grounded, secure. And from the base, from the roots and that strong steadiness, we grow up. So imagine stacking every vertebra one on top of another. The back is nice and strong, like a trunk of a tree. Shoulders rest down the back body as the arms, the limbs just rest easily by your sides. Allow the heart space, the chest to open as the belly relaxes. Crown of the head pulls up towards the ceiling, almost like a flower or leaves reaching up towards sunlight. As you relax the face, softening the forehead, the eyes, and the jaw, soften the ears. Begin to tune into the breath, almost likening the breath to wind blowing through branches of a tree, effortlessly coming in and out. Feel every inhale and exhale in the body. For you, that may mean the nose, the nostrils, maybe the back of the throat or the chest or belly. Feel the rush of every inhale and exhale, and just allow yourself to be with the breath for a couple of moments. Whenever your mind wants to take off and think about anything else, that's okay. That's what the mind does, but simply bring it back. Find your way back to the breath. Inhale and exhale, feel it in the body. Once you feel grounded in the breath, gently draw the eyes open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you. So now that we see and vision is in the picture, can you still keep your gaze inwards, feeling the body, feeling the breath, though vision is back in the picture? And only once you feel ready to move, gently make your way to hands and knees, tabletop position. Take your time. If you need to bob the knees before you get there, feel free to do so. From tabletop position, we'll gently transition to child's pose. So the big toes will touch behind you, knees spread wider than hips distance, and then sink your hips on back to the heels and let your body drape down. Feel free to add any movement here, so maybe you sway those hips side to side, maybe the head roll side to side. Just find what feels good. Stay with the mind and the breath in the body. Let everything else dissolve to the background. One more big breath here. On your next inhale, gently rise up, tabletop position, hands and knees. On the exhale, curl the toes under, lift the knees up, and then press it on back, downward facing dog. We'll take a couple moments here, move however you like. So if that means pedaling out the legs, feel free to do so. Maybe you shift the weight forward and back, side to side. Wake up the backs of the legs. Notice how you feel in the upper body. And stay with the breath. We have the head below the hips. You might feel a gentle rush of energy towards the head. That's okay. Breathe through it. One more big breath here. And when your next inhale arises, begin to walk or tippy-toe the feet up to the hands. Take your time. If you need to bend the knees to get there, walk the hands back. Find what works in your body. On your next inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, and then we're going to hang heavy in a forward fold. So let yourself drape on down. Hands can be anywhere. They can be dangling in the air. You can wrap them around opposite elbows and ragdoll. You can hang on to the lower legs. Find what works also with the knees. So maybe you bend them. Maybe you just have a soft bend. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Wherever you are, totally relax the back of your neck. Just allow the crown of the head to fall towards the ground. Notice what you're feeling. Just be with what you feel. And if anything doesn't feel great, modify, move, give your body what it needs. 2 more big breaths here. 1 more big breath. Breathe through the back body. Beautiful job. On your next inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. On the exhale, step both your feet back, plank position. Your choice if you keep the knees lifted or drop them down here, but we're going to lower ourselves down to the mat. On your inhale, peel the heart up, tops of the toes, press down to a low cobra. Exhale, down dog. So moving through bent knees, curl the toes under, press up and back. When your next inhale arises, lift the right foot up towards the ceiling behind you. On the exhale, bring it on up, step it to the outside of your hands. If you need to kind of heel it, toe it in a little inwards, feel free to do so. We're going to pause here. So if this feels like enough of a hip stretch for you, you are going to stay right here. If you want to move a little bit further, we're going to eventually make our way to lounging lizard, so you'll set the back knee down, possibly uncurl the toes. Maybe you stop here. If you want to go one step further on your next inhale, as you pull the heart forward, you're going to lift that right hand up and you're going to place it on your right knee, And as you do so, you're going to press that knee out away from you and begin to pivot the torso, possibly looking over your back shoulder. So we're just letting the hips slouch down a bit, moving into a deeper stretch in the hips. So find anywhere that works in your body right now. This can be a very, very deep stretch. 2 more big breaths. 1 more breath, breathe through the hips. On your next inhale, make your way back up. Hands come down. Step that front foot back as you curl the back toes under. And we'll move through our vinyasa. So lower yourself down, exhale. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, down dog. All right, we're going to do that stretch on the other side. Know that your hips might be different on each side, and that's okay. On your next inhale, left toes point towards the back of the room. Exhale, step that foot to the outside of your hands. Pause here. Notice what you're feeling in your body. If this is enough, stay right where you're at. If you want to go a little further, drop that back knee down, toes uncurl. Maybe you stop here. And again, if you want to move to lounging lizard on your next inhale, left hand lifts, place it on that left knee. Maybe the hips slouch down as that left knee goes out towards the side, okay? So find where this works for you. We'll hold for a couple more big breaths. Breathe through the hips, relax the jaw. 2 more breaths. 1 more big breath. Inhale, come back up to center. Set the hand down. And then lift the back knee, step on back. On your exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale, down dog. Curl the toes under, press those hips up and back. Take 1 big cleansing breath here. Maybe you breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Whenever your next inhale arises, either walk or step the feet all the way up to the hands. Rise up halfway whenever you get to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold down. Pause here for a breath or 2. Recalibrate, check in with the hips. Notice how you're feeling. 1 more big breath here. When your next inhale arises, lift the heart, pull it forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step those feet on back. Again, your choice. If the knees stay lifted or you lower them, lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, low cobra. Maybe it's up dog now, lifting the knees, straightening the arms. Exhale, curling over the toes, downward facing dog. Similar flow on this side with stepping up. So when you're ready on your inhale, lift the right toes up behind you. Exhale, step forward. This time the foot comes between the hands. If you need to help it with your right hand to get up, by all means, feel free to do so. Now we're going to move slowly and consciously. When your next inhale arises, can you use the strength of your torso to lift on up to a high lunge? Take a couple moments, find your balance, and once you're in this high lunge, take a look down. Let's make sure that front ankle is directly below the knee, and then the back toes, rather than the heel coming towards the ground, heel is as though you have a wall right behind your foot, and that knee is lifting up away from the ground. Hands lift up. And we're going to add a little challenge here, possibly balancing. Take a big breath, and then on your next inhale, can you begin to reach the hands forward? Maybe you pop up into some sort of version of a warrior 3, so maybe that back foot begins to lift as the hands come by the sides like airplane arms. It's okay if the toes are just coming up off the ground. Pause here, big inhale, exhale, come on back down, moving slowly and consciously. We're gonna do that about 2 more times, trying to move with the breath. So let's try that again. Inhale, reach it forward, hands maybe come back, toe might lift up. Exhale, set it on down, hands lift up. Once more, you got it. Inhale, reach it forward, hands come back, toes lift up. Exhale, high lunge. Beautiful, beautiful, find your balance, big inhale. Exhale, hands come down, step the foot on back. We'll move through the vinyasa, lower yourself down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Pause for a breath or 2. Come back to your breath. We're doing the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, left toes lift. Exhale, step it up between the hands. Take your time, find your balance. When you're ready, lift the torso on up, hands reach up. Again, take a look down. As you can see, my ankle's slightly forward of my knee, so I'm just gonna step it back slightly. There we go. Back knee presses up towards the ceiling as the back of the foot and the heel is lifted. Take a big breath. When you're ready, on your next inhale, reach it forward, hands come back by the sides, maybe you pop up in balance. Exhale, set it on down. 2 more times. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Move at your own pace. Inhale, reach on forward. Exhale, high lunge. Pause. Whenever your next exhale arises, hands come down. Frame the front foot, step that foot on back, lower yourself down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. You're doing an awesome job. Take a big breath or 2 in down dog. Notice how you're feeling. Maybe the heart rate is increased a bit. 1 more big breath. When you're ready, on your next inhale, either walk or step the feet up between your hands. Rise up halfway. Once you get to the top of your mat, exhale, fold down. Pause in the forward fold for a couple breaths. Come back to your body. Notice where your mind is at. Sometimes with challenging postures and balancing, the mind goes completely somewhere else. So come on back in. Find your way to your breath. Feel it in the body. Take a look at your feet. If they are closer than hips distance, just step them out a bit so the ankles are below the hip points. On your next inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward, pause here. On the exhale, left hand goes somewhere on that right leg. So it can be up on the thigh, it can be down closer to the ankle. Find where this works in your body. On your next inhale, right hand's gonna reach up towards the ceiling. So take a look down at your knees. We want the knees to be in the same plane rather than one leg being completely straight and the other being super bent. So try to keep those hip points directly over the ankles. 2 more big breaths here. 1 more breath. Awesome. Exhale, hand comes down. We're gonna switch. So right hand to left leg. On your next inhale, left hand peels on up. Couple big breaths here. Notice where you feel this in your body. So stay with the mind in the body. 2 more big breaths. Relax the jaw, soften the gaze. Exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold. 1 more time, inhale, rise up halfway. This time, pause here, exhale. On your next inhale, bend the knees and slow as you can, ripple on up, stacking 1 vertebra at a time until you come all the way up to standing. When you get to the top, exhale, roll the shoulders down the back body. Awesome, awesome job so far. Take a look down. Let's make sure the feet are still hips distance, so ankles over the hip points. We're gonna work with some balancing poses next. So it always helps to find somewhere on the ground that's not gonna move, so a gazing point. So take a look down, find something to look at that's not gonna be moving on you. On your next inhale, shift your way over to that left-hand side so right foot gets light. So just play around, find your balance on that left foot. Hands can be on the hips if that feels good for you. We're gonna start with toe tap. So bend the knee, right toes come out on the ground ahead of you. Now maybe you just stop here and you work slowly on lifting the toes up. If you want to come with me, on your next inhale, can you lift the toes up, knee parallel with the hip point? Exhale, lower just to a hover. 2 more times, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, follow your breath. Once more, inhale, lift. Exhale, set down, slow and controlled. Same thing other side. So find your weight on that right foot, left foot gets light, maybe you swing it a little bit. When you're ready, toes point towards the ground. When your next inhale arises, lift it on up, knee to hip height. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, slow, controlled, set the foot down. When your next inhale arises, hands sweep out and around, palms touch. Exhale, bow down, low belly pulls in. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, bow. Inhale, bend the knees and ripple on up, 1 vertebra at a time till you come all the way to standing. Exhale, give yourself a nice roll of the shoulders down the back body. All right, we're gonna up the ante a bit. If that was enough for you and that's where your practice is today, with just lifting the foot up, you're gonna stay right there. If you want to move a little further, make sure those feet are hips distance, all 10 toes point forward, hands come to the hips, same thing. So find your balance on that left foot, right foot gets light. This time, rather than bending the knee, we're going to straighten the leg and just point the toes, all right? So we're working with a little bit more weight now that the leg's extended. On your next inhale, can you lift the foot, trying to keep the hips over, or the shoulders over the hips? Exhale, lower just to tap down. Inhale, lift it on up, low belly pulls in. Exhale, tap it down. Once more, inhale, lift it on up. Exhale, tap. We're going to do 1 more and hold this round. So on your next inhale, lift it on up. Pause, couple big breaths here. If you need to bend the knee, by all means, feel free to do so. 1 more big breath. Exhale, slow, controlled, lower, set the foot back down. Awesome, awesome job. Straight to the other side. So find your balance on that right foot. Left foot gets light. If you're coming with me to the straightened leg, toes point out. On your next inhale, lift it on up. Exhale, tap it down. 2 more. Inhale, lift it up, follow your breath. Exhale, tap. Once more, inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. We're gonna hold now. On your next inhale, lift it on up. Pause, couple big breaths. Low belly pulls in, shoulders stay stacked over the hips. 1 more big breath. Exhale, slowly lower back down. All right, reset time. Inhale, hands sweep up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up halfway. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, ripple it on up. 1 vertebra at a time. And exhale, shoulders roll down the back body. All right, we're gonna be moving towards tree pose next. So similar concept, just with those other postures. We're gonna start by bringing our weight to the left-hand side. So let's get that right foot light to start. So maybe you swing it a little bit, hands come to the hips. On your next inhale, just like our first round, bend the knee. On the exhale, knee comes out to the side, so I'm gonna face you so you can see. Inhale, back to center. 2 more times, exhale, out to the side. Inhale, center. It's okay if you need to tap down and just draw circles. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, center. This time we're gonna work towards tree pose. So inhale, bring it out to the side, pause. Option A, foot comes towards the ankle. Option B, the calf. Option C, bring it on up towards the thigh. Now the one place we don't want to put the foot is right on the knee because that can compromise the knee. So either above or below somewhere, find where this works in your body. Take a moment or 2. Now we can play around with the hands. So maybe the hands come to heart center. Maybe you grow them out like tree branches, hands come over the head. In prayer, find how you want to make your tree today. Couple more big breaths, you got it. Imagine those roots coming out from the feet to the foot on the ground. Reach those branches out. 1 more big breath. Beautiful job. Exhale, slowly bring that foot back down to the mat. If you need to shake out that left ankle, feel free to do so. We're gonna go straight to the other side. So when you're ready, bring your weight over to that right foot. Left foot gets light, hands come to the hips. When you're ready, inhale, bend the knee, lift the toe up off the ground if that works for you today. Exhale, bring it out to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, open up. Inhale, center. Exhale, open up. Inhale, center. Now we're gonna make our way to tree pose. Exhale, open up. Notice your sides might be different. Foot can come to the ankle, the calf, or the upper thigh. Find where this works in your body today. Hands come to the hips, palms at heart center. You can make any type of tree that you want, even swaying those hands side to side. Standing leg is strong, so we're pressing the heel down to the mat. Low belly pulls in. Couple more big breaths here, you got it. Imagine those roots growing out from that foot as your branches get tall. 1 more big breath here, you're doing great. All right, when you're ready to come on out, slow and controlled, knee comes in towards center, and then set the foot on down. Awesome job, everybody. Inhale, hands sweep up, palms touch. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, rise up halfway, pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees on your inhale, slowly roll up, stacking 1 vertebra at a time like you're a little plant growing up towards the sun. Exhale, shoulders, roll down the back body. I got 1 more challenge for you today. So we're gonna make our way down to the mat. I want you to pause and just find where this works in your body. If you just wanna sit down, by all means, feel free to do so. First part of our little challenge is feet come in hips distance, possibly toes, big toes touching, heels splay wide. Find what works in your body. It's a little bit easier and more grounding to have the feet spaced a little bit further away. On your next inhale, lift the hands on up towards the sky. As you do so, heels lift up. So we're coming onto our tippy toes and finding our balance here. Now this may be where you start and possibly end your journey. You can stay right here, just working on keeping those heels high as I slowly come down and up. If you want to move a little further, we're going to slowly make our way down towards the ground, keeping on the heels. So follow me. Whenever you want to tap out, feel free to do so. On your exhale, can you begin to bend the knees, slowly making your way down, heels stay lifted. Maybe you come all the way to the point that the hips meet the heels and the thighs are parallel with the ground. So give it a try or two. If you want to just sit on down, by all means feel free to do so. If you want to come down the rest of the way, you're just going to reach on forward, roll on down, allow the booty to come to the ground. And we're laying down next. So find your way down, arms extend out, and on a nice exhale, roll all the way down to the mat. We're going to do a little bit of work in bridge pose, stretching out the back body a bit. So when you're ready, follow it. Inhale, heels step in towards the hips. Feet are about hips distance. Hands come by your sides, palms face down. On your next inhale, cross your right ankle over your left thigh like you're sitting on a chair with your legs crossed. On your next inhale, press through that right foot. Lift the hips up off the ground. Press the left knee towards the ground as you lift. Exhale, lower the hips just to a hover. Inhale, reach on up. Exhale, lower to a hover. Send your gaze right above you on the ceiling. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, set the hips down. On your next inhale, bring the legs in towards you in the exact shape they're in. Left hand threads through the little hole you made, and then you grasp behind the right thigh. So gently pull the legs in towards you. Pause here, recline pigeon or thread the needle pose. Now your choice, you can stay just as you are. If you want to add a little bit deeper of a stretch, you'll flex both of the feet, pulling the toes back towards the knees. Maybe you even press the left elbow in towards the left thigh. You can play with the height of that right foot as well. Wherever you are, keep pressing the hips, the low back down to the mat. Resist the lift. One more big breath here. Now we're going to move to a twist with the same shape of the legs. So remove the bind of your hands, arms come to a T shape. On your next exhale, legs fall over to the right hand side. The left knee is going to be pointing up towards the ceiling. So left foot comes down, right leg comes down, and maybe you finally send your gaze over the left hand. Pause here for a couple breaths, breathe through what you feel. Again, if the mind has gone elsewhere throughout all those balancing poses, take a moment right now, come back. Feel the breath in the body, reel yourself back to here and now. One more big breath. On your next inhale, bring those legs on back to center using the strength of your core. Exhale, set both the feet down on the mat, hands come back by your sides, palms face down. Same flow on the other side. So inhale this time, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Pause here, exhale. On your next inhale, press through that left foot. Lift the hips up off the ground. Right knee presses towards the ground. Exhale, lower the hips just to a hover. 2 more times, you got it. Inhale, lift on up. Exhale, lower to a hover. Once more, inhale, press those hips on up. Exhale, set the hips all the way down. On your next inhale, recline pigeon. Bring the knees, the legs in towards you. Right hand threads through the little hole. Grasp behind the left thigh. Pause here. If this is enough for you, you're going to stay right where you're at. If you want to move a little further, flex the feet. Toes pull back towards the knees. You can play around with where that left foot lies in space, or even press the right elbow in towards the right thigh. Add a little deeper of a stretch. Make sure you're pressing the hips, the low back down to the mat. One more. Big, big breath here. We'll transition to our twist next. So on your next exhale, remove the bind of the hands, arm comes to a T shape, and then drop it on over, the legs on over to the left-hand side. So your right knee is going to be pointing up towards the ceiling as the legs fall over, and maybe you send your gaze over the right hand here, adding an extra stretch to the neck. Relax the jaw, soften the face, maybe the eyes draw closed. Breathe to the right side body. Again, keep bringing the mind back to the body, to the breath, no matter how many times it takes. 2 more full rounds of breath here. Doing an awesome job. One more big breath. Beautiful. Inhale, bring those legs back to center using the strength of the core. Exhale, set both the feet back down on your mat. Hands come by your sides. This time palms can face up or down, whatever feels better for your arms. We're going to move to Viparita Karani, generally known as legs up the wall, but we're going to do it in the center of our mats right now. Step 1, you can pause, just lift the feet up off the ground, knees directly over the hip points. This is a restorative, relaxing pose, so if at any point it feels like you're overexerting, you've gone too far. So option A is to just stay just like you are with the knees over the hips, feet floating off the ground. If you want to move a little bit further on your next inhale, you'll begin to lift the feet, so then the feet are stacked over the ankles, over the knees, over the hips. So you're making like an L shape with your body. Now, if this feels like too much work, if you're really working the core to keep the legs lifted, I'd really like for you to go back to the knees bent, because again, this is supposed to be a restorative pose. If it feels pretty much effortless to keep the legs above the hips with the feet straight up, then stay there. That works in your body. Again, we're all about meeting ourselves where we're at. We'll take a couple big breaths here. Viparita Karani is amazing for getting the energy, the flow back to the core. So we're reversing the blood flow by having the feet above the hips. So we're getting all that good energy back to those vital organs in the core. And when we bring the feet back down, it allows for reverse or refreshed blood flow to the feet and the limbs. So take a couple moments here. If the toes get a little tingly, that's okay. Imagine your breath going all the way to the tips of the toes on the inhales, and on the exhales, releasing from the nostrils all the way from the toes. Breathe here, soften the jaw, relax the gaze, couple more rounds of breath as you are. Whenever you're ready to come on out of this posture, on a gentle exhale, begin to bend the knees, lowering the feet, and eventually hug the knees in towards you, wrapping your hands, your arms around the legs. Maybe you roll gently side to side, massaging the low back in towards the mat, and just observing how you feel right now. From here, we'll transition to a nice happy baby pose. So on your next inhale, lift the feet up. Hold on to either the outside edges of the thighs, grasp around the lower legs, or hands come around the outside edges of the feet. Find where this works in your body, and just like Recline Pigeon, rather than letting those hips come up, can you Velcro them or press them down to the mat? And if you like to sway side to side, feel free to do so. And at your own pace, on your own time, whenever you want to come out of happy baby pose, move towards Baddha Konasana or butterfly legs. So the insides of the feet will touch, knees splay outwards as the heels drop down towards the pelvic region. You can grasp your hands around the feet or the ankles. And again, moving at your own pace on your own time, maybe you eventually lower these butterfly legs down towards the mat beneath you. Again, find what works in your body, move at the pace that feels good for you right now. And if there's any last stretches or postures you want to add in before Shavasana, now's the time to do that. So feel free to move your body in any way that feels good. If you're just ready for a good old Shavasana, then you can straighten the limbs out or find a nice resting posture that feels good for you, and we'll eventually meet up there. Take your time, find the next couple moments for yourself. When you're ready, we'll meet in Shavasana. And if you're still flowing, please feel free to move as long as it feels good for you. For those in Shavasana, gently draw your eyes closed. Take a moment on your next inhale, lift the chest up off the ground, and then pull the shoulders down the back body, and then set the chest back down. So this will create space around the neck and ears. Take a moment to invite in a soft, easy, relaxed and grounded nature to your mind, to your body. to the space all around and within you. Begin to relax your body even further, starting by softening the crown of the head. Relax your forehead, the eyebrows, and the eyes. Soften the temples, the cheekbones, and relax the jaw. Soften the lips and the teeth as you gently float the tongue down away from the roof of the mouth. Relax your ears and the back of the head. Soften the scalp. Relax your neck, the front, the back, the sides, and soften the throat. Allow the shoulders to melt towards the ground beneath you as you relax the upper arms, the elbows. Soften the lower arms and the wrists. Relax the hands as the fingers naturally curl inwards. Soften the chest, the rib cage, the belly. And allow a wave of relaxation to ripple down the spine, softening the back body as it passes. Relax the hips, the glutes, the pelvic region. Soften the upper legs and the knees. Relax the lower legs and the ankles. And allow the feet to naturally splay outwards as gravity pulls them towards the sides and down. Every toe gets a little bit lighter. Notice if you're holding on anywhere else in your body, and just let go. And allow this inner state to translate to your mind as though it's a muscle itself, letting the mind melt and fade away. And as you rest here, imagine yet again roots coming out from any area of your body in contact with the ground. Allow this root system to grow from the back of your body down through the ground, connecting you with the earth beneath you, keeping you grounded, safe, nourished, and secure. And from the top of your body, imagine whatever you want growing up and above you, whether that's tiny plants, a tree, whatever it is, flowers. And you're just in this space in between, just being. Every inhale brings in nourishment. Every exhale releases that which no longer serves you. Take a couple moments to just be in this balanced state. And as you rest for the next couple of moments, feel free to either stay with this visualization or just let it drift away. When you're ready to reawaken the body, begin to deepen the breath and add small wiggles to the toes, the fingers, the wrists and ankles. And only when you're ready to move, gently roll over to either side and pause there, resting in a fetal position. Take your time. Once you feel ready to lift up, gently move towards seated, keeping the eyes softly closed as you transition. Again, take your time, move slowly and gently. We will eventually meet up with the eyes closed and palms touching at heart center. Once you make your way towards seated, take a couple of moments to consciously observe your internal landscape. Notice how your mind, your headspace feels. Gently draw your awareness to the body. Notice how it feels. Tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right now? Gently give yourself a smile and really thank yourself for showing up here this afternoon, for taking the time to cultivating such a beautiful state within and all around you. And thank you very much for sharing your beautiful practice with me and everybody else who showed up here today. The light in me truly honors the light in you. Namaste.